let's just get right into it because I've been seeing this on my timeline for the past couple of days. And the reason I started this channel is because I really was big on like the community and the mental health community, and I want to talk about this. So there has been a situation where I'm going to insert the messages right here where DJ Sky and Rolly from Baddies West or Baddies East, I don't know, from Baddies have they were in basically a spat where they were speaking about DJ Sky coming to the bar and leaving her baby in the car. Bars. So I just want to speak on this because it speaks to the state of where we are as a generation right now and where we are as a community. And it really hurts me to see stuff like this because I was saying on TikTok, this situation has so many different compartments to it. And I want to really sit here and break it down because this all just circles right back to mental health. You never know what state that these people are in because we've seen her with Kanye West. We've seen her on billboards in New York. We've seen her everywhere. But for her not to be able to have a babysitter, it honestly saddens me because I know that it's deeper than that. And I know that when people usually have resources and everything, and it may look to us like, okay, well, yeah, she has a choice to do this if she wanted to. It may look to us as if, like, if she wanted to, she has the choice to do these things. But it's sad because the reality in a lot of these situations with these people that are famous on TV, TikTok, and Zeus Network is that that's not really their real reality. And it honestly saddens me because it's like, we're getting these serious situations and they're always being chalked up to like this one storyline or this drama that's happening. But in real life, this affects the community. This is not okay. And even reading the comments and seeing a lot of people, place the blame here and there and here and there. At the end of the day, it all boils back down to the community and the things that we are a part of and how we take in these things, because honestly it's not okay, but it's also not okay not to have a support system. It's also not okay for the dad not to be there to be able to take care of his daughter when the mother does want to relieve herself. And that's normal as a mother. Like, we're human at the end of the day. Nobody can do something for 24 hours a day, and it's really hard out here. And I understand accountability, and I do believe in taking accountability, but I just want to shift the perspective because I feel like as a community we really need help, especially for our women, because it's sad to see that when so many women are out here and they're making all this money, they're on their job, they're getting to a bag, they're doing what they need to do, and then behind the scenes it's a whole different story. It's sad because I don't think people always take into account all the sacrifices that need to be made in order for these women to be here, even down to like the surgeries. Like, okay, to look good and to be TV ready, you do have to make a lot of sacrifices. And I think that life moves so fast for these people, and every day is a different storyline, that people don't ever get the time to sit back and say, damn, like, how does this affect us as a whole and as a community? Like, really. And I understand where people say, oh, we aren't all a monolith and all black women aren't the same. But honestly, I've seen many black women that didn't even have the resources that have done similar things or have been in a situation where they had to leave their child in even worse places because they just didn't trust anybody, or they didn't have the resources, or they just knew that, even though they need that break, they can't risk something happening to their child outside of their care. So they rather take their baby into a situation that may not seem safe and may not be the safest or best option on the outside. But for them to feel like, what, at least my baby is in my care still and under my protection is the best option. And for me, it's just sad that women have to consistently pick between work and being a mother and going to school and just doing all these different things. And honestly, it's really sad to me. And I just wanted to open up a different perspective in the conversation because I just don't like that, we just keep having these storylines every single day, but it's like nobody's getting to the root of the problem. Like, nobody is perfect. Everybody has their flaws. I don't have kids, so, but I understand, and I know people that have kids, and I know successful people right now that feel guilty, and women that feel guilty about being successful and having to go to work so much because they have to take all their time and they have to do the things that they need to do, but in return they don't get to spend time with their child. And I feel like, with her being successful, this is just a piece of what we're seeing. Her going to the bar, imagine how many shows she has to do, how many times she has to go out at night and stay out all night. So she probably would have felt guilty to leave her baby somewhere else. And it's illegal to leave babies in cars. I'm not with that at all. I don't think it's cool, but I just want to speak to a different perspective because I think that this is an ongoing problem. And if we sit here and we continue to place blame on people and say, oh, she should have did this or she should have did that, that's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to help anybody, and that's not going to allow people to open up to want to get help in the first place. So even this being out right now is just like, damn, it's really sad because I feel like in our communities, a lot of times, instead of just helping somebody like, look, I'm going to be real with you. I want you to get help. I want you to get some resources. We don't even get to that point because we're so busy. Like, it's always the next storyline and the next thing and, you know, pointing the blame and pointing the finger at people. And I just pray that we can get past that, because at the end of the day, it's not fixing anything. These people are still going to continue to have babies. These people still, women have to continue to make these sacrifices, and it's hard. You know, even as a person without kids right now, it's hard for me to pick between school and work. So I can't imagine picking between work, school, and a child and a relationship and, you know, all of this other stuff, because it's just honestly sad. And I just wanted to open up that different perspective. And I also wanted to know what y'all have to say. I also wanted to know what y'all have to say on YouTube, because I think it's important that we have these conversations, but without just placing the blame on somebody. Because at the end of the day, I also do feel like, you know, where was the dad? Who was the dad that she didn't feel comfortable enough to say, look, can you come sit with me? You know, I've sat with my nephew and nieces in the car plenty of times, and my brother would have something to do and he'll call me and say, hey, can you just sit with my baby? Because I want to make sure, you know, I just need you to sit with them for like 20 minutes while I go to work. And you see it so many times where people have to pick between their children and work. And even though to a lot of people it may not look like work, because she was at a bar, but honestly, that's where a lot of business meetings go down at, or just being in the loop of the business that you're in. Even though it's a different type of business, and maybe this and maybe that, it's still like sometimes business can go down to the strip club. Sometimes business go down in places that aren't kid friendly. And to be a mother and have to pick between that, my heart really goes out to her. But my heart also goes out to the other women, because even though we don't see their struggle and we don't know what they're going through, there's many other women like Smiley and stuff, even though she gets on people's nerves. There's many other people, you know, and women on that show that are making sacrifices behind the scenes that we don't always see, because we're always so quick to move on to the next storyline. So I just want to say that I hope that in our community, women really can reach out and start getting help, and really getting help that they can trust, because it's sad that you can't trust your kid with the father. Like they said, there was security there. It's even sad to have to hire strangers rather than, you know, having a supported daycare that you can go to that can, you know, emergency daycare, 24-hour daycare. Hey, I need you to watch my baby for a couple hours. She has the resources. So, you know, even in that situation, it's sad to not feel like you can trust people around you to really take after your child in a time where you really need it. So I just want to hear y'all experiences, especially as mothers, because my heart really goes out to y'all, because I see time and time again that so many women have babies and they truly have to pick between one or the other. And I also want to talk about the situation of like government benefits and stuff too, because there's less fortunate women that have it even worse, to where they have to pick between, you know, having a man in the household that's going to help them, or having a household at all, you know, because if you're on Section 8, and this is a whole nother thing, if you're on Section 8, you can't have a man in the house. And it just goes back to like why we need reparations. I keep saying this. This was a system that we were born into. And sometimes people say like, oh, y'all keep on singing the same sad song. I'm not saying that everybody's a victim. I'm just saying that it's hard to make a choice between one thing that you love and another thing that supports the thing that you love, such as a job or a career, even if it look crazy, even if it look ratchet. These women are out here getting to it. They're doing what they need to do. And my mindset used to be different behind it. If you would have asked me a few years ago, I wouldn't have understand until I truly seen it from both sides. Because I've seen successful women, doctors, lawyers and stuff do this and have to really go through this. And I've seen women that were poor have to go through it. I've seen women that are, you know, entertainers have to go through it. I've done rides for women that were like really big in the entertainment industry, traveled the world doing what they were doing, and they still had these same or similar problems. So I just want to have this talk as a community. Like, can we stop placing blame and actually get to the root of the problem so that we can come up with a solution? Because we can't just put this on her. Like, she's not the only woman that goes through this. This has happened multiple times. So ladies, I would like to hear your opinion in the comments, you know, and this goes for all races, all colors. As women, I feel like we really need to stick together and understand that it's deeper than just this one incident. Like, this happens across the board to women every single day. Even if you run in the gas station and you leave your baby in the car, you can go to jail for that. So, and that's a really big responsibility, because where is the father? You know, where is the person that, you know, supposed to be your other half when you don't have it? You know, where's the person that's supposed to be there for your child? The father, the grandma, the granddad, where are these people at? And if they are around, why don't you feel comfortable enough to go to them? You know, so let's just get to the deeper problem, the root of the issue, so that we can come together as a community and solve this. That's all I gotta say, y'all. It's Bag Lady J, and you know, I talk a lot about hopping in the bag, and this also goes into the emotional bag, the financial bag. Like, this all relates to the bag, because you have to have your mental together too, and that relates to everything, because I want to be a mother one day. So it really does hurt my heart to see that mothers have to go through this, resourceful or resourceless, like across the board. It's just, the situation is just, it makes me really sad, and I just want to open up the conversation on a different note. So let's talk about it. Comment your opinions below, your perspective below, and let me know. And if you have been in a situation before and you've been redeemed from it, we want to hear your stories too. If you've been in a situation where you had resources or didn't, I just want to hear and understand you women's stories, and just offer a different opinion and a different understanding of what's going on. All right, love y'all. Peace.
Get back up and stack again. Look, I just got the motherfucking package in. I fell up on my ass, now I'm back again. I just hit it on the 9, trying to stack